And welcome to season 10 of Habs Unfiltered. I'm your host, Blaine Putvang, and I'm joined by my co host, who I happened to drag out of the gym for just this occasion, Trege Wilson.
Hey, I actually haven't gone to the gym yet, so
Well, I hired people to take him out of the gym. So here he is, ladies and gentlemen, the person you've all been asking for.
I have doubts, but yeah, okay.
So, yeah, 10th season of this podcast.
Time flies when you're making shit up.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. To think. Matt's not even here. He decided he was going to go on a all expenses paid trip to Africa.
Is he in Africa now, or is he still in Scotland?
I don't know. It's Air
One
Force,
or the
whoever,
other.
whatever.
Whatever
Yeah.
they do, whatever they do.
Eh,
Some
whatever.
hotel somewhere.
Some 5 star.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my God, Muffy. I can't believe my lobster isn't here yet. It's been 5 minutes.
Oh my God, the caviar was so fucking harsh.
Ooh. My gin and tonic, they used the bottom shelf gin.
This will be going in my pre-deployment message.
So hard. The hardship that they face, it's unbelievable.
It's true. It's true.
We miss you, Matt. All right. So we are recording. It's the 7th of October. The NHL season starts today for several teams. Montreal's season starts tomorrow in Toronto against the Stanley Cup champion 2026 Toronto Maple Leafs, just like they were Cup champs 25, 24, 23, 22.
This is their year, man. This is their year.
Yep. Every year is their year.
They got rid of the guy holding them back. They got rid of the 100-point scorer that was holding them back.
Yep. Yep. Definitely his fault.
Yeah, Paul is get to read Twitter.
So, so the Canadiens start tomorrow in Toronto. Then they play Detroit the very next day in Detroit. Then they go to Chicago for Saturday. So they got 3 games in 4 nights to kick the season off. What the fuck?
Well, they did this last year. They had two games back to back to start the season as well.
Yeah.
Toronto, or yeah, it was Toronto at home and then Boston in Boston.
Mhm.
Uh, but the 3 games in 4 nights. Well, I mean, we got to get used to the condensed schedule just for the simple fact that the Olympics is going to be in February there, so they're going to have almost a month of no hockey. I mean, personally, I think for years like that, hockey should just have a 72 game schedule or just cut 10 games out of the schedule. And because I mean, they have 17 back to backs this year. Um,
Yeah.
so it's kind of it's like the old 80s playoff when you played 2 games back to back, day off, 2 games back to back, and then they did the 1-1-1-1. Um, but I don't know. I unfortunately for them, October's actually any pretty I don't want to say easy schedule, but it's a pretty like they got the Kraken, which the Predators, the Red Wings, the Blackhawks, Sabres, Flames. Like they got a lot of teams that aren't really supposed to do well this year. Um, Flyers, Bruins. So, that's going into mid-November. So hopefully they'll, do well. And Martin St. Louis said he wanted a quick start this year. He didn't want to start like they had last year. He kind of wanted
Oh, that
them
was
to
tough.
be, I mean, and then they were one of the best teams in the league prior to the Four Nations Cup, and a
Mhm.
huge reason why they made it into the playoffs was their run after the Four Nations. So if they can start off early this year and maybe not playing playoff hockey for a month before the playoff starts, then you know not do what my Yankees have to do for the next 3 games and desperately try to win.
Ah, imagine losing to Toronto like that. My God.
Oh, a team that wasn't even supposed to make the playoffs. or at least let alone win the division.
Yeah, either one, I guess. Boston, of course, was it was bound to happen. But yeah, so from last year, I mean, the Canadiens last year they eked into the playoffs by a couple of points, and then you look at who was behind them and who has improved. I mean, Philly's definitely improved. Boston, you can't really count them out. Columbus, I think they've gotten a little bit better. I don't know if they've gotten, to the point where they can knock anybody out. The Rangers, I mean, can they be that shit again?
I think the Rangers was an anomaly last year. I never suspected the Rangers to fall off a cliff like that.
No kidding.
Um, and I mean, I don't want to say I don't see them. Boston shouldn't be a good team this year, but then again,
However,
2 years ago, I didn't think they'd be a good team either, and they won they had 101 points. Now, last
yep.
year kind of caught up to them, but Flyers improved, but I don't think they improved enough to make that much of a leap forward. They still don't have any goaltending whatsoever. So, I,
Yeah.
I'm not going to say Flyers are going to be a bottom five team, but um, I think Mitchkov will have a better season. I think you're going to see with Rick Tocchet, especially as the coach, you know, he's not going to do what Torts was trying to do, which I think was trying to get him be more responsible at both ends of the ice. Um,
Who needs a player who can play a little bit of defense?
um, So I do see Philly improving, but do I
Yeah.
see them improving as much as Montreal? No.
No.
I think a playoff spot is for Montreal to lose, not for Montreal to win this year. Don't get me wrong.
Especially,
If they don't make it, but still finish like 95 to 100 points,
still improvement.
that's still an improvement. Like I can't because you again, like you say, Columbus, I think got a little bit better. I don't think the Rangers are going to be as shit as they were last year. Uh, who knows what Buffalo's going to do?
Nobody. Nobody knows
I don't even think the team or the management knows what they're going to do. I think they're just throwing shit on a wall and hoping it works.
at this point. Yeah,
But
pretty
I
much.
mean, because Buffalo, I mean, on paper, you look at them and who they have, they should be a fairly good team, but they're
For
not.
whatever reason.
So
Again, I think that's like a team culture thing. They just haven't figured it out.
I have no idea.
And then you look at teams that are more than likely going to slide. Toronto's not going to be as good as they were in last year's regular season. I think they're a worse regular season team, so they won't be quite as good. Tampa
I
Bay and
think,
Florida definitely sliding a bit.
yep. And that's the thing. So you look at all the teams that you can say, like Columbus, Rangers, Philly, whoever, you could sit there and go, New Jersey's going to be better this year. I think, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like the Islanders, I think are sliding, but then you got to look at the teams ahead. Florida has almost everyone injured. Barkov's out, Kachuk's out. Like they're, you
that's
know,
going to hurt.
I won't count them out. They have Bob Roski. They probably have one of the better goaltenders in the league playing for them. They have a solid defense. Um, they have depth, which is why they're back-to-back Stanley Cup champions. Um, Tampa, I think, is on the that little bubble where they're about to, you
Yeah,
know,
they're on the downward slope. Yeah,
start towards but they're still not. They still have enough talent that they can make the playoffs. And I agree with you. I think Toronto. I don't know. I think Toronto's going to be hit or miss this year. I think they're either going to be really, really, really good or they're going to struggle. I can't. When you look at the makeup of their team,
yeah,
so going into this season, they had four players. Like last year, they had four players, but they had four players who could pretty much carry that team. They're going to score. Matthews was going to score when healthy 50 to 60 to 70 goals, whatever the hell he can score. Marner was going to get 90 points. Tavares was going to get 90 points. Nylander was going to get 80 points. And then you throw in the odd Domi and the odd, and then Riley was going to help you at the back end. And they have good enough goaltending. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It wasn't shit goaltending, but it wasn't Hallebuck or Bobrovsky or anyone or Carey Price or anyone like that. Um, but this year, so Wall's gone for personal reasons. No one knows how long he's going to be gone for. Marner's gone, and they have a guy Maselli who I mean, Leaf fan thinks he's going to be the next Marner. Um,
He plays the same style, but if he can get 60 points, that is an amazing year for this guy.
I mean, I don't think he's ever scored 40, has he? I'm not. I have to look
That's
up
my
his
point.
points. Yeah, but then again, you look at a guy like not Hyman, but you look at before him, Bunting.
Nice. Oh, yeah.
Bunting came out of nowhere playing with, but he played with Matthews and Marner and ended up having like a 30 goal season, 60, 65 point. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But then he goes to another team and he's a third friggin' liner. So, like could that Maselli be that? You got Matthew
Probably.
Nyes. You got Matthew Nyes, who I think is going to be good, but you don't have enough guys that you added that's going to give you that 100 points that Marner was giving you,
Well, no, I
personally.
think they're a lesser team. So their lines look like so Nyes, Matthews, and Maselli. So it's kind of like what they had last year, but Maselli's a type, tier three version of
Yeah.
Marner. Bobby McMahon, like whoever the fuck that is. Tavares and Nylander are a line. That's your top six. Then in your bottom six, you got Domi and Roy as your centers.
Yeah.
Like I like Nicholas Roy. I think he's a tough center.
I think they
But
actually improved their bottom six, but their top six is worse. Does that make sense? Like, you understand what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like, for
yeah, I do.
years, we're
Yeah,
saying you need better bottom six players. I think they kind of improved their bottom six, but not to the point where it's going to complement what they lost in their top six, if that
true.
makes any
Like they
sense. Or
they had to
top,
give up.
yeah.
Yeah, they had to give
Yeah.
something up at the top to pay for stuff at the bottom. But
Yeah.
when you got Robertson on your third line, and I'm sorry to say, Toronto fans, it didn't turn out. He wasn't as good as Cole Caulfield.
Not even close. He's not as good as
It never was.
Cole's
Um,
brother.
so offensively, I don't think they're quite as good. Defensively, they've improved. And then you look at their defense, they've gotten a lot friggin' better. When you got Carlo on a top
Yeah.
pair, you got Tanev on a second pair. I like Benoit with
Yeah.
Ekman Larson. That's a strong third pair. So goaltending wise, that's a question mark. Their defense is really good. They're better defensively up front, but I don't see them winning the division outright. Like I can see Ottawa competing there. I can see Montreal competing there, Tampa. So it's going to be a fight there in that top three.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. Like I was going to bring up Ottawa. Like I'm shitting on the Ottawa fans all the time because they're the most delusional
Rightfully
group of
so.
fans, most delusional group of fans in history. I think they top Toronto and Montreal fans now. Uh, yes, I said Montreal fans because they can be horrible too.
They
Um,
can be.
but Ottawa got a good team. Like they got they got two solid top lines. They got a third line they're built a lot like Montreal. They have a core of young players, and then they have solid veterans filling in the gaps. I think their defense is what's going to hurt them. I think
Mhm.
after Sanderson, I don't really think they have much. Um, Shabbat is a poor man's Matheson, if you know what I mean by that, Habs fans. He's very hit or miss. He'll
I
look
think
like,
Ullmark will make up for a lot of
yeah.
mistakes on the
Oh,
defensive
for
side.
sure. I mean,
Yeah.
Shabbat looks like Ray Bork one day and Phil Bork the next, so you never know what you're going to get with him. And
For
uh,
those who are too young, just Google that.
so it's Ottawa's going to be another team that, like Toronto, they're going to be hit or miss. They're either going to do great, but I mean, I think Toronto and Ottawa are one major injury away from having a terrible season.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah. No.
what Montreal was the last before they
Decade.
did the rebuild. Before they did the rebuild. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like if Montreal stayed healthy all year, they were a playoff team. But they lose one guy, and it
We all
didn't
know
even
who that
have,
guy was.
yeah, or and they're done.
Yeah. So this year's team, I think, it will actually compete for one of those top three spots. And this is the lineup they're going to start with. The top line, I mean, it's obvious they're a top line, Suzuki's line. Then things start to get a little bit interesting. New Hook, Kapanen, and Demidov. That's their second line in quotes. Doc, Budzik, and Gallagher. I like that matchup. Anderson, Evans, and Line. People are crapping on Line saying he's on a fourth line, but Evans is a pretty quick center who can play well defensively. Anderson fights for the puck in the corners. He opens up space, and Line can just focus on playing against secondary defenses at the 5-on-5 level, get a few extra chances, and then just rack them up on the power play. I mean, this is not as big of a deal as some people are making it out to be.
I think the second and third lines are going to be interchangeable. Some nights I
Yeah.
think you're going to see the dock line as the second line and the Kapanen line as the third line.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, there's not going to be much minutes between those two lines anyway. I have no issue. Like, so what if Lonnie's on a fourth line? Now you have literally three 20-goal scorers. Well, no, not Evans. Two 20-goal scorers with Evans, a 15-goal scorer on your fourth line. And Line A, let's be honest, not great defensively. Doesn't fight for the pucks, right? He's not. He doesn't
Yeah.
doesn't use his body like he should because he's not a small. So you have a guy like Anderson that's going to fight for the puck in the corner and get it free. You have Evans who can pass, who can win the draws, who can get the puck to an open line A, and
And play
then you
defense.
and play defense. And Anderson can play defense. He switched his
Yep.
game over last year, so he's now better two-way forward now than just the power forward, the power
Yep.
horse that everyone wanted him to be before. Now, Kapanen, Newhook, and Demidov, that's going to be a high energy, high uh, in the preseason and in the rookie camp. Kapanen played well with Demidov.
Yep.
And I think that's what you've said this before many years that Martin St. Louis likes to pair people together. Caulfield, Suzuki. Doesn't
Yep.
matter who's on this side, but Caulfield and Suzuki are going to be together. I think he likes Kapanen with Demidov. I think he likes that dynamic, and New
Mhm.
Hook's going to be that. He's going to be the speed that's going to help them. The only thing I don't like about New Hook is that I don't think he's offensive IQ is where Demidov is, if you know what I mean. Like I don't. Demidov
Yeah.
is thinking three steps ahead, and Newhook's only thinking one step ahead. Look, Newhook's thinking, I have to be here and I have to be here. Demidov is, I have to be here, but if that guy goes there, I have to go over there. That guy goes around here, I have to go in there. You know what I mean? Like he's thinking about his
So
next three moves before.
I don't think it's that big of an issue for Demidov because he'll know where these guys are going to be. So when
Right.
he's making his decisions, he already knows where those two guys are going to be at that moment. So it makes it a little easier for him being where he's at in his game.
I just hope Demidov doesn't try to do too much himself.
That's the problem.
That's what I'm worried about. I'm not worried about him not being able to hit the guys, right? I'm worried about him trying
Trying
to
to,
do too
yeah.
much, right? Like if he sees, oh, they're covered, they're this, oh, I'm gonna have to get by these four guys and then lose the puck, and because that's gonna be your poor defensive line. Although Kapanen is a pretty good two-way
Mhm.
center, Newhook is okay. I don't know what Demidov is yet. If I'm being honest, I don't know what his defense. It's better than Michkov's, but then again, so is mine.
Yeah,
So,
fair. All right.
right?
So to
Yeah,
finish off the lineup, defensively, the Canadians have these pairings for now. Matheson was with Dobson, which makes sense.
yeah,
Gooley is with Hutson. Again, makes perfect sense. And they had Jacki and Carrier doing line rushes together. Again, that makes sense.
yeah.
I think possibly Struble will start the season, possibly. But Jacki and Struble are probably going to be interchanged often throughout this year. They got the back-to-back games, so one will play Wednesday, one will play Thursday.
Yeah,
So
I think it all depends on how Toronto's lineup's going to do and who
yeah,
guesses.
yeah, yeah.
Toronto doesn't really have with Ryan Reeves gone now, they don't really have Benoit, maybe. They don't really have a guy that's going to go out and be an idiot. So
True.
Domi, maybe, but you know what I mean?
Well, he
Like
is an idiot. Yeah.
they have
Um.
medium weights, and I mean, I don't think Struble can hold his own.
Oh yeah.
See, this is the thing with Jack Guy is he's more of a he's going to play against Ottawa. He's going to play against Philadelphia. He's going to, you know what I mean? He's going to
Yeah.
play against Columbus. He's going to play against Boston. He's going to play against these teams who have um,
They're more
you know,
physical.
yeah, they're more physical and stuff like that. So I don't want to say he won't play, but I think you're going to see an even number of games between him and Struble. I think they're
Yeah,
going to kind of
for the
split
first
the,
half anyway.
yeah,
I
yeah.
think you're right. And so the Canadians decided to keep Veleno, go with a 22-man roster, and they waived Sammy Blais, who went to Toronto because Berube knows him from his time in St. Louis. So we were talking off air before we started about that 22-man roster and what that could mean. And you and I agreed that this does look like it's a cap accumulation plan.
I think they're bidding that they're going to be buyers at the trade deadline. Mind
I think
you,
sooner.
mind you, they have to be careful because the new playoff salary cap thing is there.
Yep.
But you can still get other players. You just have to make sure your team falls under the salary cap that you dress. My understanding is the team you dress has to fall under the cap salary. Um, it just so happens to work out. They're going to have about $8.7 million available.
Weird.
It's just throwing it out there. I think Matheson could be on the move if someone like Crosby were
Sure.
to come over, because then they don't have to worry about the salary cap come playoff time because they'll have more than enough space for if he moves. They have what's he 4.8
4.85 or something.
or
Yeah.
something like that. So then they're going to have almost $9 million in cap space right there without. And then you could throw someone like Kapanen down in Laval or wherever you want to throw him, and Bob's your
Yeah.
uncle.
But if they were to make a move like that, which I think will be sooner rather than later, just because it's the McKenna sweepstakes this year, and
Yeah,
everyone at the bottom is going to want him sooner, or they're going to want to tank sooner just to make sure they can get a better chance.
yeah.
You're going to have to hope that the team that has that $8.7 million player is willing to sell said player, and that player is willing to go to Montreal.
And you got to hope Montreal has the assets to get said player.
I think they do.
I think they do, but is Ken Hughes gonna sell the farm to get a 2 year player? That's my question.
I think they're willing to spend quite heavily for something like that.
Yeah. I
If
think
they see this team where they are, like let's say December 15th before the trade freeze, they're in that top three and they're within striking distance of the number one spot in the division, then yeah, I can see
oh,
them.
for sure, for sure. But if they're sixth or seventh, you know what I mean, and
Yeah,
they're 5 points out of not making the playoffs, and then
that changes things.
I don't think they're gonna rush off and be like, okay, let's go grab them. Mind you, Crosby still would make a difference. They would guarantee they won't miss
Who?
the
No, we
playoffs.
weren't. No, this is purely hypothetical. We weren't naming names.
I wasn't talking about Sydney. I was talking about Brittany. Brittany Crosby.
Oh yeah, okay,
Yeah, yeah.
fair. No, it does make it a little interesting, even if it's not him. They're gonna have space to add to the team, even if it's adding another player, like an $8 million player from somewhere else, as a rental even. Like
Or
they
maybe
can do that.
maybe they can get a $12.5 million player that just signed an extension for 2 years. Who knows? Who knows?
No, can't do it. They're not in Ontario. It's impossible. Um, no, I mean they are set up. They've got depth. They've got players down on the farm that they can call up to fill holes for injury call ups. I mean, they've got a lot of good young players who are starting to really step up into that NHL prepared level.
They're gonna have to start making moves somewhere to move people
Yes,
out because
they can't have
Jet
everyone.
Florian's Jack Eye's ready, I think. I think Owen Beck's ready for the
Close, yeah,
next. I think Owen Beck's ready for the next step. Close.
close, yeah.
Um, Healthy Reinbacher would be nice to see if he's close to that next step.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Angstrom,
Angstrom. I think Angstrom's ready for the NHL. I just don't think there's any room for him, and I think
exactly.
they want him to play, and that's why he's in Laval. Like it's not a matter of you know. we're not carrying him because we think he has to be in Laval. We're not carrying him because we don't want him to sit up in the press box and waste time doing
Well,
nothing.
if you look at Montreal's blue line right now, you can argue that they have six, maybe even seven, more than likely six top four defensemen. So they can buy time.
Pretty much everyone on their roster right now, maybe not Jack Eye, can play in the top four.
Yeah, exactly. So they got
Hey,
six guys who can be in the top four
you can even argue Jack Eye could be the fourth defenseman if necessary, but
on some teams for sure,
I think Struble as a defensive defenseman is a little bit more stable, I would say, than Jack Eye in the top four.
especially with Hutson. Like he's
Yeah.
proven that.
I mean, you definitely have five. You definitely have five top four defensemen. Definitely for sure.
Yeah, you can argue that they have six as well. I mean, it's borderline, but you can say they have.
Yeah.
So they have the lineup there that they can buy time for guys like Engstrom and Reinbacher, and even use some of the guys that they have on their roster now as trade bait,
And
knowing they have something to call up.
they literally have four top two defensemen. Gooley, Dobson, Hutson, and Matheson.
Yes,
Could be a top two defenseman on any team in the league. Well, maybe not any team in the league, but
just about.
yeah.
Yeah, not Colorado, but yeah, just about.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Maybe not Dallas. Dallas got a pretty good defensive core there.
Meh.
But we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, no, they've got a, and they're the youngest team in the entire NHL on average. The
25
youngest.
years. Yeah.
It it's incredible how, the fact that they're this young and they're already this advanced in the rebuild. So, you add a couple of veterans down the line here, maybe around the deadline, things change in a hurry. So suddenly they're from a playoff bubble team to someone that could kick the shit out of you in the first round.
I think that's what they're hoping to do. I think they're, you know, they don't like to come out and say they have a goal to be here or there or whatever. Like they wanted
Just
to
the
be in
playoffs
the
right now.
mix. They wanted to be in the mix last year. Now I think they're kind of saying, okay, we exceeded what we wanted. You know what I mean? I don't think anyone had playoff aspirations, just playoff hopes. You know what I mean?
Now they
This
have the
year,
aspirations.
now they have the aspirations. And like whether they get beat out in the first round or not, I don't think is really, of course, they want to move on. But if they get beat out in the first round, as long as they put up a good fight, they play good games, it's not a blowout. I think they'll be okay. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that because I'm not willing to say the rebuild's over yet. I'm willing to say they are a playoff team, if that makes any sense.
I think you can say that they're a playoff competitive, like that level of
Yes,
team.
yes, yes.
Um,
Contender,
and
no. I don't think they're a contender.
no, 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 well, no, no, God, no, they're not there yet. That's why they need a little bit more time, a
Yeah,
little more
yeah.
seasoning, a couple of pieces, and then I think they'll be there. But for now, no. Um, we only got a few minutes left, and I wanted to talk about one more thing, and that's Lane Hutson's contract. Everybody's in a full-on panic. It's going to cost $25 million a year. Oh my God, oh my God, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Back in March, I wrote about his comparables, and I looked at Quinn Hughes and Adam Fox, two smaller, highly offensive defensemen who had defensive issues to start their careers. One won a Norris Trophy in the first couple of years. Like, so it's comparable. If you look at the percentage of their cap hits, um, we're looking at between 9.5 to 10% of the cap. So that's around this year. I think it's around 9.5 mil for Hutson because the upper limit's 95.5. I think what's causing a little bit of the uproar is the chances that they might lose out on that eighth year and that the cap's going to be going up to about 104, maybe even 110 million.
I think they're going to have it done before Christmas. Um, from what I've read between Hudson's side and Hughes' side,
Hmm.
the talks aren't mean-spirited. They're not, you know, no one's walking away from the table. They're just like, well, this is what we want. This, I think, I literally believe they're one little bonus fucking, you know what I mean? Like there's something small that's, you know, maybe he wants an extra $20 put on there or something. I don't know, but there's something,
20 bucks.
there's something, I don't think it's a
Gee,
big
where'd
deal.
that come from?
I don't think it's as big a deal as people think. I don't think it's going to be
No.
I think it's just a matter of them crunching numbers. Like, like Hutson said himself, my agent wants something, Hughes wants something. I want to stay here. I'm gonna play in Montreal. They're gonna work it out. I don't care. You know what I mean? And I think you're looking at. I think he's going to get around 9.5, maybe 9.8, but I don't think he's going to get 10.
I think it'll be 9.48, just so they can have his numbers in
Ooh,
there.
there you go. There you go.
Um, and the thinking that I have behind all of this, I think it's more to do with them trying to figure out how he can have the most take home pay at the end of the day, by the end
And
of his
that's what I mean.
contract.
I think it's
Yeah,
something more. How are they going to work out the years and how it's going to. So the AAV is
avoid
your nine.
taxes.
Yeah. And your AAV is this. Your
Yeah.
bonuses are this. And
Mhm.
then, that's, and everyone's like, ah. And it's like,
Yeah.
nah, it's something in the math that they're just trying to work out. So it works
And
for
I
everyone.
exactly. And wouldn't want anyone to feel like they're surprised by the fact that he's probably going to take a little bit less. Like you look at their lineup, all the guys that are part of that core group of young guys, they've all taken a little bit less. Like a fair market value when they sign, but it
Mm,
was a little bit less than what you'd expect. And I think it has a lot to do with all of them want what they're owed, like they want to be paid well, but they also want to win. So they're willing to leave a little bit on the table so they can take that money and spend it on somebody else.
yeah. So, and, I'm not worried about Hudson. He's going to be there for the next 8 years. Well, I think he's going to be there for the next 8 years.
Oh yeah. So everyone calm down. It'll be fine. Uh
Just chill, as the words
just
of Carey
chill.
Price.
San Jose Shark legend, Carey Price.
Retiring his number.
Yeah. All right. So final thoughts before we call it a day.
I just want to say I thought it was very funny that Tyler Toffoli's wife told everyone in San Jose that Carey Price was coming out of retirement to play, and all the young guys like Will Smith and that were getting all excited, thinking that Price was going to be the goalie. Good job there on Cat Toffoli there and I guess Angela Price was in on the joke too. So I thought that was hilarious. To me, I thought it was just really funny because I would have been really sad if that actually happened. But no, final thoughts here. Enjoy the season. You're gonna have your ups or downs. Take it easy on Demidov. He's on a new line. It's a young line with Captain and a new hook. Yes, he's on the second power play to start, but so is Lane Hutson. Let's not panic because not everybody's exactly where you want them to be. I'm positive that the management and coaching staff of the Montreal Canadiens know a little bit more than you do.
Well, I mean, maybe a little, maybe
Just saying.
I'll
Just
concede
saying.
a smidge.
I'm just saying. I don't think the Tacit Ducks are on the Montreal Canadiens level they're playing.
Oh no, let's not get ahead of ourselves. They gave us our own jackets this year, so come on.
Do they look like the
Yeah,
Pat Burns jackets from the 1980s, with the white? Well, you'd be black and orange, I guess. You wouldn't be.
yeah.
You
No,
remember
no,
those
no,
ones? The Fleer
no. It's
jackets?
more modern. It's got the little duck paw.
Woohoo!
All right, and for me, I'm just happy that we're back on. We've got some more shows coming soon. I'm going to be going back to sea again. So, Treg, well, you're going to have to carry the show, brother.
Maybe I'll do a couple solo shows. Maybe. We'll see. I'll be live at the game in November 4th against Philadelphia, just so everyone knows.
There you go. Give the fans more of what they want, more Treg.
I will. I will. I'll drop the puck on
So we
some
can't give them more
ice.
Matt.
They can't handle that.
No, it's too much. Matt's just too much. So, all right. So that's pretty much it for the first episode of season 10. We're going to go into 25, 26, and we're going to expect a good season out of the Canadiens. So remember, if you're talking about it, so are we.